Mayor Nan.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
But don't
Only when you're talking. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, welcome to our July Village meeting. Yay! Woo! Thank you so much to Corey and to Horst for hosting us. We really appreciate it. And a special shout out to everybody who wore the theme, which was kind of a mumbled jumbled theme for this evening. So congratulations to everybody who showed up patriotic, independence, and or Hawaiian for tonight. So big round of applause. We're going to start the meeting by announcing, for anyone who doesn't know already, that we got officially placed at 6 o'clock and E. So big round of applause. Yay! What we'll do is go ahead and talk about what that looks like so far with preliminary layout, and I'm going to pass it over to Cool Daniel.
Oh, yeah, we can see that. Don't point at the speaker.
Would you like to stand up here?
There you go.
Okay, so this. That's loud. All right. So here's the current version of the layout. It's going to be roughly. It's going to be similar to this on Playa. A couple changes, perhaps. You know, things always change up to the last minute. We're between E and G because they moved all the double wide blocks for the big theme camps and stuff. They moved them back one letter street this year.
The man is way up there.
Yeah, the man's that way. Yeah, and then where's that full moon tonight? The man in the moon. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we're between E and thank you guys. So we're between E and G, and along that's fine. And along and this is 6 o'clock right here, and right along this edge right here. If anybody was wondering, we usually have about 6:12 on the clock face. If you even care, I don't know. Some people think we're at 6:30 over here. No, not like that. It's like 6:12. Now we've got a couple of other things that are different this year. So they're putting the saunas right next to us this year. They used to be down at we got the Blue Bank right here. We used to be between D and F, and they would have the saunas down on F and 6. Like they would have been down here, right at that corner. Honey pot, sauna, Blue Bank, whatever, deposits only, please, kind of.
Potty camp.
Potty camp, yeah, yeah. Potty pod, yeah. Potty pod. Everyone has a small, whatever. Okay.
Very interactive.
So basically, what we've got here is we've got the porta potties along this side right here this year, and
What does the wind blow?
yeah.
Wherever it wants to blow.
Yeah, the wind is blowing pretty much this way. So unfortunately, some people will get a little bit of the stink, but I think there's been a lot of hopefully no spray. Hopefully not. Okay, so. Oh yeah, let me kind of show you where the pods are. So here's hard on right here. It's heart on, in case you don't know. What?
Who? There's where? Who?
The hard on. It's my pod, Cat, and a few of us out here. It's very much ad-libbing for me. And then we have the buzz-in right here. Then Illuminati. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Illuminati. Illuminati. You see, yeah. I think so. I think so. I don't know. The good Illuminati. Yeah, the good one, yeah. And then here's Mr. Cool Camp this year. He was down here. We moved him up here. Yay, Mr. Cool Camp. And we've got a new pod this year called the Wondering Maenad. Did I say that correctly? Wonder Maenad. Okay. And that's our mayor's pod. And then you got the happy spot. And is anyone here from a happy spot tonight? I mean, hey, hooray for Happy Spot. I don't know if anybody's here. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And this year, Otis Spankmore has got this nice corner right here, you know. And all the good stuff comes from them. And we got Joyism down here. Joyism, hey. And we got a new pod. I don't think they're new burners, but they're new. They're new for us. It's Lost in the Profound here. And then we Lost in the Profound. You know?
They're great. They're great.
They're awesome. And then we have the Labor Pod. Yay, Labor. And then the Geek Pod. The homework. It's the home for wayward geeks, but it doesn't really fit in there that well. So call them the geeks, you know. The Jenny Pod is someone with respiratory problems, I think. Yeah. So the Geek Pod, and hey, Geek Pod. These guys are the guys that are in charge.
More power to you!
In charge of the power and setting up the flagging, and they get there real early and do all that stuff. So hey. Yeah. So I'm thinking, what else could we have to say? We're so this 400 feet along the bottom here is not quite accurate because the whole clock face of the whole Burning Man. So what happens is up here from this point here to this point here, we're gonna have about 350 feet, and down here we'd have about 400, but it's actually going to be about 447.44, I believe, according to Risky.
I'm going to measure it at 0.45.
I'm going to measure each speck of fly dust at that corner. I'm going to see what. No, he measured it very accurately. And then this is going to be about 440 along here. It might be 450 feet along here.
420.
Might be a little bigger.
440. 400 plus this minus the 50.
Yeah.
So it'll be
No. This along here. There's a place where I saw that as 450. Is that incorrect? That's 440. Okay, so it is 440. And then we've got our internal roads.
pretty close to 450.
Yeah.
Because it's actually a pie wedge, not really a rectangle.
And then we've got our internal roads here, and here. Now these three roads, the 20-foot wide ones, are for access for the fuel truck to come in and fuel the generator.
Don't block the fuel truck.
Yeah, don't block any of these internal roads here. And no, Cat's blocking me. That's okay.
This is Jeremy parking right there.
All right, it's Jeremy parking. We've got these internal roads here, and here, and also, so these three here, and these two right here. Got to leave those open at all times. You can't park there or anything. Those are for the fuel truck coming and fuel the generator, and it's also for RV pumper trucks or gray water tank pumpers coming in and having access to the backs of the pods to pump that all out.
I'm gonna go park there anyway.
That's how RVs will get in too if they come later in the week.
Yeah, that's how our RVs will get into.
I'm gonna park there. I'm gonna lay down in the middle of the street. Beat us, will you park there? Yep, you're right. Great. Wheels on Meals, right?
Yay, Wheels on Meals.
Wheels on
Yeah, Wheels on Meals.
Go round and round.
Yeah.
Get it right, baby.
Okay.
I know, right?
Anybody have any questions? Like simple something? Yeah.
Simple. Are these laid out? When are they laid out? So when you arrive, do you know?
Yes.
Is the space laid out in advance?
Yes.
These are laid out on. These are laid out on. About Thursday and Friday before the burn. That's why we recommend no one arrive into the village before Friday, because these pods might not be laid out. And let's say you're camped in Joyism and you end up setting up over here and you get your shade structure, your stakes down. You're gonna have to move, and no one wants to do that. So that's why Friday is like the earliest. Really, we have people there much earlier than that, but those are the ones flagging and doing the power. So Friday is really the earliest.
It's here for Power Hoe and Misty.
Yeah, it's here for Power. Okay. Yeah.
Just want to point out that when we sent in the questionnaire for placement, we asked for 350 along these streets here. and we got 400, and part of that is because of our partnership with the org and the placement. So yay to our placers. They do recognize that the frontage is lost along the street because of the porta potties, and so they make up for it along the street. And so I think just to point out that that was really awesome of them.
So we've lost some street frontage, but we gained a whole bunch of porta potty frontage.
Yeah.
Hey, capture audience.
So bring your hand sanitizer. Exactly.
And those aren't the actual spaces of the potties yet. That's just relative.
Right.
Yeah, it's relatively their placed. Yeah, it's most likely going to change before the event. You know, like it's relative to each other. Like Otis will be next to this, but sizes could change.
Because size matters.
It does. Yeah. And I think yeah, this is gonna be here all night. I'm probably gonna set it like over there against the wall on the house, like where it was, well before, and take a look at it and send me an email if you have questions or ask me here or whatever.
Later.
Thank you to our layout team.
Yeah. Oh, just to be clear, Kathy Cat is also on the layout team. She's
I'm the mouthpiece.
yeah. She's the communications piece of the layout team.
Thank you, Kathy Cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to turn it over to our registration team, our registrars. I'm going to get Nicholas to drink it.
Our registrars are
All right.
here. Thank you.
Registration. You need to register. If you haven't. We have, yes, thank you to Corey, who has done an amazing job getting everything, up and running and checking and double and triple and quadruple checking everything. Because there are lots of little issues and people want to upgrade later and they
But everybody signed up and paid, right?
Almost, except for the 50 people who haven't. Yeah, so we thought that we might actually have public spankings tonight for everyone who hasn't registered yet. But it's going to be a very long night if we do that, so we postpone it to the next meeting and we hope that more people sign up between now and then. Yeah, the Otis people would help us with that.
Have signed up. Didn't.
So no, we do have 147 campers registered out of around 200 that we can accommodate. There's a problem with that. We need the money to pay the bills that are coming in because we need to pay for the generator and everything you actually get to enjoy as members of Silicon Village. To do that, we need people to register. We only have 147. We need about 200 to cover our costs. And so if you are on the list and you think you have a placement, you are not guaranteed that placement until you actually register. And to make matters worse for you, we actually have to start filling up these spots because we need the money. And now that we are on the map and placed and people will find us officially on the web and through the org, we are getting a lot of requests from people who actually want to join Silicon Village. And so we have to really weigh in, and weigh who can actually... Yeah.
Thank you.
It would be much fun if they actually explode. In the fall, they actually start exploding. This is really fun when they actually... So we need to accept other people, but we don't know how many because we have some of you on the list that are actually supposed to camp with us but haven't registered yet. So please do register. If you can afford it by any means, please register. It would help us a lot. It would help us to really fill our pots, know how many more people we can accommodate. We would like to have some new people coming in, but we don't really want to take away the slots that you guys would like to get. So please do register.
Well, out of those I don't need that. Out of about 50...
He doesn't need that. He's much louder than I am.
Out of the 50 or so spots that haven't been paid yet, we have names for like 34 of those, right?
That's correct.
So there's approximately 34 people that are on the list that we think are camping with us that haven't paid yet. And so especially you pod leaders, get on your people because at some point in time, we can't hold spaces for them forever. When we got people begging, we got a group of people who are saying, who do we send our $450 to?
Thank you, Fernando.
And at some point in time, I'm looking at the list of the people who haven't paid going,
So are you in the legal case of snooze versus lose?
yes, exactly. Very well put.
You interpret it, walk out to your camp place.
I thought after we got our Rockstar placement, it was 1,000.
We set it for 2 tiers this year, not 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's right.
we can always make a third tier.
for you.
Exactly. Just one.
My congressman every day.
You can camp right in the center where it says Jenny.
Yeah.
It's 1,000.
Pod.
That's right.
Or the foodie, the poo-poo pod.
So bottom line is we have about 150 out of 200 campers registered. Please register if you're still planning to camp with us. So let us know if you don't, right? If you've changed your mind, it would also be helpful to know that you don't. We are full on RV, so all of the RV slots are taken. So if you're still planning an RV, you really need to talk to your pod leader, because we are out of those. We still have some super tents available. So if you want to bring a tent, an air conditioning system, microwave, and dry sauna and whatever you want to bring in your tent. They're still So a few super tents are available, but no more RVs, and please register.
Thank you so much. We're going to turn it over to our head power ranger, Twisty.
Oh, I get to say now? What was I talking about tonight? Oh, you want to know about the generator. That's what you people want to know about.
Tell us about the generator.
I'll tell you about the
Tell the
generator.
story, Uncle Twisty.
5 years ago. No.
Back in 07.
Yeah, so the generator still needs to be paid for, as Horst mentioned. We will be expecting the generator to arrive on Playa Saturday. For those of you that are awarded early arrival, which is something that we'll talk about more later, don't expect the generator to be running Saturday or Sunday. We want to get it running Saturday, but anything can happen, so keep that in mind. For those of you that arrive without early arrival, the generator should be running, barring any major catastrophe. And when you arrive on Playa, find your pod Power Ranger. Can I have a show of hands of our Power Rangers that are here tonight? Excellent. So, if you don't know who your pod Power Ranger is, check with your pod leader. Your pod leader should know who your pod Power Ranger is. When you arrive on Playa, if you need help plugging in, actually I should say find your Power Ranger and they will help you plug in. If you have an RV, you have a super tent, whatever it is, we want to help you plug in. So find your Power Ranger. If you can't find your Power Ranger, maybe they're off checking out the man, or they're getting their shift done at Playa Info, or they're still at the box office, whatever it might be, check with one of the other pods. We have a whole escalation path, so any Power Ranger can help you, but please go to your Power Ranger first. If you can't find any of the Power Rangers in any of the other pods, you're welcome to come find me. I will help you out. But please, try and find your Power Ranger first. If you can't find them, check with your other pod members, the pod next to you. Someone will be able to help you out. What's my other note there, Manea? Yes. At the end of the event, those of you that are still there Sunday and Monday, if you are the last person in your pod or the last person plugged into your spider box, please bring your cable and your spider box back to the generator. I know that's asking a lot, so let me say it again. If you are the last person in your pod or the last person using your spider box chain, please pick up the spider box and the cable and bring it back. And if you need help with that or not sure about doing it, find someone that can help you. We just don't want them sitting in the dust during a giant dust storm where we can't see them and we're trying to leave, which usually is the case on Tuesday.
It's okay to ask for help. Those
Dale,
people
did you have a
don't
note?
I was gonna say, how do you know who your Power Ranger is?
Well, we just went over that.
They're the juiciest person in your pod.
Ah, the juiciest person. Wah, wah, wah. I don't know. What else?
Make sure they're covered.
All right.
Is there an alternate we could use?
Great. So,
Can go both ways.
if you have any questions about your extension cord, we've asked you to get, specifically the RV owner should have a 100-foot 10-gauge cord. If you are just a smaller tenter, we still want you to have a 100-foot cord. And when you look at the map, you can see that we have a lot of space, and our Sparta boxes can only reach about 200 feet away from the generator. So if you're 300 feet away from the generator, which can happen, you're going to need an extension cord that's 100 feet. So 10 gauge or 12 gauge extension cord. Epa had brought me a adapter. He wanted to make sure he had the right adapter. He did get the right adapter. It's a rigid adapter that you can get at Home Depot If you have questions, come find your Power Ranger or come find me, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. Dale?
Yeah, so I wanted to say one more time, if there's anybody in the group who is bringing an RV and absolutely needs the 30 amps that their RV, or they anticipate they will need all 30 amps instead of 20, that is something they want to escalate through their pod Power Ranger or have a discussion with the head Power Ranger.
Yeah,
Make sure that that is accommodated.
If you're bringing a welder, let me know. If you are bringing an RV that requires 30 amps, 40 amps, or 50 amps, let me know. If your vehicle, your power appliance requires 220 volts, let me know specifically. Either hunt out your pod leader and let them know, or come find me directly.
So you're
Nicole?
saying I can't bring my industrial sewing machine on the playa?
You can. You just need to tell me beforehand.
20 volts?
But you're gonna have to drag it out of the truck yourself.
Yes. Yes.
All right, Manea. Thank you. Andy.
So, the point I want to, I just did actually buy a 10 gauge cord at Harbor Freight. There's kind of a slight warning in this. They have 10 gauge and they have 12 gauge, but they're both rated the same, and I think the problem is that the connectors may not be rated at the full potential, full current carrying capacity of the cable.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. I mean, I spent the extra money, but I'm not quite sure how relevant it is because they're both rated the same number of watts.
It should be okay.
It's not going to be harmful.
It's not going to be harmful, but the 10 gauge really helps on the heat of the playa and everything else that's happening out there. Dale?
So to his point, yes, there are lots of Chinese cables from all the suppliers coming in, have been for years. The connectors are not what they used to be, that's the short story. If you want to give yourself sort of a leg up on not having a cord melt off, which I personally did actually in Plymouth, California last year in 110 degree heat, burned off the end of my 30 amp connector on my motorhome and took out about 5 feet of cable with it. So failures do happen, right? So if you're plugging into the Spider Box and you're plugging into a 20 amp circuit, be advised that the Edison plug that you all have in your homes are rated for 15 amps. If you decide that you would like to plug your RV in and give yourself a better chance at not having a problem, you can cut your plug off and put a twist lock 20 amp connector right on the end of the cord. That gets rid of one thing. One is you don't have an adapter, which creates heat and trouble. Second of all, you have a real 20 amp connector, not a 15 amp connector masquerading as a 20 amp connector. If you have questions, you can talk to me about it, or Twisty.
Yep.
And John, if he's not hiding somewhere over here.
That would be Risty over there.
So we can advise you on that, but it's better if you start this dialogue now. If you get on Playa and you have problems, there's no Ace Hardware around the corner.
Yeah. Steve, did you have a question?
Do the Spider Boxes have twist locks or 3 connectors?
So the question is do the Spider Boxes have a twist lock connector or a 3-prong connector? Generally, the Spider Boxes have a twist lock connector. There are a small handful of Spider Boxes that have the 3-prong plugs. Where you're camping, you'll have a mix. So, are there any other questions?
And they'll all be here tonight if there are any other questions.
Yeah, I will be here all night, so if you want to talk to me, I can help you with a cable if you want to modify a cable.
It's on the Yahoo group, the file in the Yahoo group, right?
Yes,
And
there's
a
a
website.
there's a file in the Yahoo group and on the power section of our SiliconVillageBurner.org website. It talks all about the extension cords, adapters for your RVs, safety concerns, and things like that. So if you haven't looked over it, give it a good read. I didn't write it for my own benefit. So I'm going to now turn it over to Kathy Cat.
Thank you. Just stand up there by the bright fire.
You don't have to.
Good, thanks.
Just don't stand too close to Nico.
All right. Hi. Okay, that's Nico. All right, I'm here to talk about the MacGyver Memorial. So, if I can remember everything, we're going to cordon off a little piece of the temple wherever seems appropriate for people to put Silicon Village related memorial bits about MacGyver. Not that you have to put it there, but look for it.
we're going to do an open mic from 5 to 6 on the Silicon Village stage, Thursday of the event week. You guys can say anything you want about MacGyver and your thoughts and memories and feelings. And then from 6 to however long it lasts, maybe 7, we're going to have an art car processional, and there's probably going to be about 6 or 7 art cars. I'm not sure that the whole entourage will fit on the art cars. They'll go really slow, so we can also walk and bike out there. When we go out there, do like a circle around the temple and go to our little spot in the temple. And then I think that will complete our Thursday of the event week. Yeah.
And at 4:30,
It's -1.
at 4:30 in that area, we're going to do a village picture, and we're asking that everybody wear tie-dye or bright colors in honor of MacGyver to be part of the photo, and then we will turn it over to the open mic part on the stage at 5 o'clock. So in between 4:30 and 5, we'll be taking the picture. Yeah.
There's only soups.
The big burn is Alien Siege Machine on Friday. And so the art cars that are going are going to hopefully all have a banner to kind of unify the processional, and we're working on a sticker to commemorate the event also that we can give out and get the artwork together. I think that's everything, right? Oh, keep an eye out for the art grant form. If you're thinking of getting an art grant from the village for some project that you're building, in the past, Hard On requested money for paint. One year we did a light up sign, the same thing that